All right, what's up, everybody? I'm going to share you a call review that I generated with ChatGPT on how I lost a potential 6K USD deal. That's like 9K Australian, 900 USD. Sorry, 900 in commissions AUD, and what I can work on because it wasn't a logistical problem, which I thought it was. It was more the uncertainty and the belief that they had in themselves. So essentially, this person, a bit of background, was from Australia, wanted to learn Chinese superficially just to improve, but then we got onto a deeper route, which was she shared how her family, especially her grandparents, she couldn't connect to. I didn't go deep onto that. I went logistical. This is one thing that I've noticed that I need to get better at is to cut through the BS and go through identity, go through the core root, which is family. Most people either want to do something for themselves or how they've been perceived with people close to them, and it's generally family. For money, people want to retire their parents or get rich for themselves to flex, but ultimately they want that purpose, they want that community, and that comes nothing from family. You can say it's friends, but friends do come and go. The On top of this, looking at my journey so far, some limiting beliefs that I hang on to myself is um, what's it called? Like I was looking through this code and I was saying like a lot. And I was like thinking to myself, why am I saying like a lot? It's that right now she could see what's going on in my head. I am overthinking. And where's that coming from? A sense of being rushed, not pausing and showing emphasis on being present with trying to help her and just going through like a list of questions internally in my head. And where the hell is that coming from? I like to rush, I like speed, but I've really connected why speed is so important. And I by default subconsciously put speed into every facet of my decision making processes, which has led to where I am right now. Burning money through rent, both through physio and through living away from home. And also the crux of what I'm tolerating I'm fighting for. I'm tolerating a lot of things. I need to overcome that to essentially get my time back, get my respect back. And let's just break this down again, because that's one thing I need to overcome to start generating more money as the offset to helping someone. Okay. So section one, the core problem. She never became certainly driven and emotionally anchored before you transition into the pitch, as I said. Her fear of money objection was a certainty objection disguised as finance. She repeatedly said, I think, I guess, which is uncertainty language. I could have called her out on that. Will I have it in me to learn this? Clarify what that means, and then ask her if that kind of mentality is serving her throughout how she's been learning, because currently she's learning through tuition, so potentially she has this already in her subconscious. I found Chinese lessons to really hard when I was little. Where's that coming from? I don't know if I can actually remember vocab. Okay, what do you mean by that? Where is that coming from? How long? When did you realize this? I don't know if I can commit every night. What do you mean by that? This is not a money objection. It's a self-belief objection, and that's the problem I'm having right now. I always think things are a money objection, but it's more like a self-belief, and I need to call it out or understand where they're coming from. You handled it. I handled it. Well, I handled it logically instead of emotionally anchoring her first. So when the price came up, she defaulted to, I should think about it. I'm unsure, saving 6 to 12 months. It created pressure, which made her retreat and stay guarded. Not bad for ChatGPT. Okay, section two, timestamps by breakdown, biggest missed opportunity. Red is really, really bad. Orange could challenge, and green is what I did well. So in the 2 minute mark, help me understand what's missing with your tutoring. She said it's quite standard, this is very vague. Okay, clarify. I like this one. Uh, what what outcomes tutoring failed to deliver? Like, so that way we can actually personalize that in the pitch. What gap What's the gap between her desired fluency and current progress? This becomes a problem later because she never became problem aware. Dig deeper into the emotional and functional gap. When you say standard, what does that mean for your results? Where are you consistently getting stuck? I think that's pretty good. Asking why she wants to be fluent, that's a tangible outcome question. She talks about family, heritage, China experience, and you don't anchor the emotional cost. Okay, so when they say emotional cost, I like this. How long has this been bothered you? When does it hit you the hardest? That's a bit too direct. When have At what moment have you noticed it affecting the connection? How long have you Are you willing to hold on to that feeling? Obviously, they're not going to say long. These questions I probably wouldn't use. She never said the emotional cost. Yeah. So, what has it costed you for not having that connection in the past? Okay. Where has that been coming from? Okay. What's caused this? What's caused you to think in a way where you've What's caused you to think in that way where you haven't really put much time and effort into getting that connection? Okay. Why take it seriously though? This was good, but she answered vaguely. I just want to get fluent. Yes. So most of these feedbacks I'm getting from ChatGPT, it's more just going deeper and elaborating on why it's important, which is getting an emotional response. So yeah, it's why take it seriously? I like to get fluent. So why take it seriously now as opposed to waiting 5 years, even 6 months. If you don't do anything different, what does life look like? It stayed the same. I've been testing that out. Okay, how would you feel if you never got fluent ever? If you never got fluent, and it's also known when a deathbed, you had so many opportunities to say like, I've always wanted to do this, and you know, in your deathbed, it's because you never put Mandarin as a priority. And you put other things like family, work, being busy, life gets in the way, all valid points. But for you though, would you be okay with that? Why not? Surface level conversations with grandma. This was your clothes in disguise. This was the emotional heart of the coal, but you didn't anchor the pain or the desire. I've broken Cantonese. I want to ask her more questions. What questions do you wish you could have asked? If you don't do this while she's alive, how would that affect you? When was the last moment you felt that sting of not being able to connect? Okay, what did you want to ask her? How's that conversation going? How long have you wanted to, build those types of connections? Like, what would you like to ask her? Okay, how does your grandma feel knowing that the conversation is a bit broken? I mean, if you were her, how would you feel knowing that you, she's speaking to the to two generations in, and it's hard to get that connection? For example, let's just say you were a grandma and your kids had kids and their kids were speaking not in English, not in Chinese, but like in a completely different language. And they're just speaking broken language to you. How would that make you feel as coming from that point of view? Okay, so if you don't allow that in, if you're a grandma, if you don't allow that, why would you allow that in your dialogue? Why do you, where's that thought process coming from? Why do you feel like you're selling yourself short? When prospects answer, I don't know, it always means they're not emotionally connected though. They need help articulating. If language wasn't a barrier, what's the one thing you'd love to know about her? If grandma could tell you something meaningful in Cantonese, what would you want to hear? Okay, that would have unlocked emotion. Okay. And then she said she talks about wanting to pick everything up, good signal, we didn't apply the vision. Instead, you move too fast. And again, that's what I said at the start. I just moved too fast. What would that mean for you? How would life be different? That's future pacing. How much is that worth emotionally? Okay. Time concern appeared. This was the first real objection, but you treated it like a scheduling question, not a certainty question. Interesting. So get commitment, get certainty. Do you feel like time is a real issue, or is it the belief that you can follow through? If the method guarantees fluency, would you make that time? Okay, yeah. Okay. Or how about this? Because we can never guarantee anything in life. All right. If the program was for free, would you do it? Cool. Okay. If it was free, but because it's free, the method wouldn't guarantee fluency because there's nothing to back it up by. Would you still put an hour a day for 6 months, knowing that the odds of being fluent wouldn't be 100%? Okay, so what if and then what if things did change? So what if there was a way that we could actually guarantee fluency? Would you still invest the finances and the time to make it happen? Yeah. Okay, why would you do that? Because I know there would be some kind of guarantee. Okay, so can I share a perspective that potentially might be able to help you? Okay, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? I would do it. So is it more of an uncertainty question, or is it more that you're uncertain about yourself getting the results? Probably more uncertain about me getting results. Okay, so like kudos for you saying that. You're not the first one to say that, because anyone doing anything completely new, there's going to be some kind of uncertainty. So that's completely normal. I just want to put that out there. But you not committing because it costs money, that shouldn't be. That's that's you selling yourself short, and I don't want you to sell yourself short. I mean, there's finance that finances are stopping you. When it comes to finances, that's the easiest part, and I can help you with that. So if there was a way for us to break it down, we should be open for that. She never third. All right, let's just wrap it up here. So I don't know if you like this type of format, but yeah, lost some money with this one. Could actually helped her. At the end, she did have the money, but then she started externalizing, and I didn't have any leverage because of the emotion. Couldn't tie it to the emotion, and didn't get the couldn't reframe her self belief and the dialogue within that. I want to try that today. Got a sales call today. I would say very doable, but there's things I have to work out. Things can go against me, but I want to do my best to hold frame, help them out, because they booked a call for me on the reason. And ever since, my spiritual journey, like we are all seen under the eyes of God or the universe or however you want to visualize the higher power. And I'm just here to help. That note, I need to cut my hair freaking too long. All right, guys. See you guys in the next video, and let's see how we go.